Hi, my name is Jesse Flippo, and welcome back to the journey. It's time to sprint to the finish line, so let's get there. Okay, so as a reminder, what are we trying to do here? Well, what I'm trying to figure out is what are making these things, these craft, move around the way they do. So let's get started. Introducing impulse drive. I hope I don't get in trouble with copyright infringements or anything like that, but I really would like to call this impulse drive, and you'll see why in the demonstration. Okay, a brief pause here for all the times I felt like a hamster running around in a wheel, stuck in a cycle that never seemed to end. Anyhow, on to the demonstration. Okay, here's where I get to get my geek on. First, I built this in my garage with my Bamboo Labs 3D printer and some basic hand and power tools. And the components I didn't handcraft myself can be purchased off the shelf and are not really designed for what I'm making them do. Second, this iteration of the impulse drive is a very low fidelity proof of concept, but with the appropriate funding could be developed quickly into a working prototype. Third, I've worked out the math and the physics that you are seeing, and the results are within the expected experimental error. I'm using an Uno R4 Wi-Fi coupled with a time-of-flight sonic sensor and a micro SD card to store the data to determine the distance to the impulse drive as it moves towards and away from the sensor. It generates about 60 samples per second or 60 hertz, but I do see room for improvement here, and I'm going to try the new Raspberry Pi Pico 2 and a laser time-of-flight sensor in an upcoming video. I don't expect the overall outcome to be much different, but I could see an improvement in the resolution of the data. The data generated during the movement profile you are watching can be seen in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. As you can see, it's pretty stable over the roughly 2.5 minute demonstration. It moves about 65 millimeters in each direction, which is about 2.5 inches. It's not earth-shattering, but it's a starting point, and will only get better from here. So basically what I've done is programmed the impulse drive to move back and forth, or in this case, right then left, and then right then left. Just go back and forth. And what I want to see is a stable movement in one direction, along with a stable movement in the other direction. The reason why is if the linear rail system were on an incline in either direction, you would see it moving further in one direction than the other. The data shows that it kind of slants in a direction, but the important part is that the system is set up pretty flat. The outcome of the data shows a pretty consistent left and then right movement and then left again. And it's a pretty good indication that, the system is working as designed. Okay, in the next video, I'll see if the laser time of flight sensor improves the distance readings while in operation, as well as the inertial measurement sensor placed on the impulse drive to confirm the acceleration data matches the expected values that the math provides. Also in the next video, I plan to adjust the rail supports on one end to create a slight incline to see if the impulse drive is up to the task of moving uphill. So stay tuned, and I'm glad you're here with me on this journey, and let's get there.